Welcome back to Sail On. Okay, it's 4th of July on the boat. Just got here. It's about 9 in the morning in St. Helens. And we're going to spend the night here, watch fireworks, which are launched just near downtown. And my son and his girlfriend will be here, so we'll hang out here tonight. In the morning, Kara and I are going to push off and make our second attempt to get to Astoria. Over the next 5 days, we're going to go 2 days down, spend 1 day in Astoria, and then 2 days back, which will be a little bit of a push on the way back to get here, make for some long days. But we failed last fall in this boat, and turned around about halfway, came back, and since then have had the motor replaced and done some other work on the boat, just, boats sound nonstop. So so we're really excited to try and get all the way down there and back. So I got here early because I thought the town would be absolutely nuts, and it actually isn't that crazy yet. The city dock's still pretty empty, which is surprising. And so I'm going to do some projects on the boat before everybody gets here. I think everyone's going to get here about 2. We're hoping this video will be kind of a grand introduction to this boat. It's Cascade 29, 1978, I think, or 76, I forget. We've had it almost coming up on a year now. So so we're excited, like I say, to get down to Astoria. This boat loves to sail. It seems to want to go really fast. So that's good. Anyway, stay tuned for more, and sail on. Hello again. It's some number of hours later, and I did a few projects in the boat. So I'm just going to show you. The boat's still a mess, but here's a V-berth. I put these little hammocks on each side. We had these in our little Ranger 23, and they did a nice job of just keeping everyone's crap somewhat organized. In the galley, I replaced our old faucet, which was basically just that big. So you could never get anything in there, like a big pot. You could never fill it. So this has a pull-out, and that's going to be really nice, I think. And then the other thing, I got this netting online. I'm sure everyone recognizes it. It's a very popular brand of this stuff, and that's going to really help keep our food organized. Of course, my little holder for the electronics. This way we can keep all our phones and the tablet in one spot. So I'm super excited about that. This was just a piece of cedar I had at home, just sitting in the garage for a long time. So I was really happy to make use of that. Anyway, I'm about to wrap up with the work. I vacuumed the boat. It's always dirty. And now I think I'm going to have a beer while I wait for everyone to get here. So it's still 4th of July, so happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July, 2018. The day before us starting down to Astoria. Just hanging out, fishing. And pretty cloudy day, cloudy and muggy. Not a lot of wind, you can tell by the flag there. So now we're just, guys are fishing.
The night got started with some fireworks that are illegal in Oregon launched on the Washington side of the river. Soon, however, those were overshadowed by the display launched from the St. Helens waterfront.
Oh, wow.
We had been hearing about a good fireworks show in St. Helens every 4th of July, and this was the first time we were going to see it.
That's cool. A little extra crackle. Ooh, misfire.
just like that, the show was over, and we awoke to a calm and sparkling July 5th morning. As I mentioned before, we repowered the boat over the winter and had a Beta 16 installed. It really is a good feeling to have a reliable engine and transmission on the boat, especially when cruising in the small confines of the river with the never-ending current. So here's a shout out to the crew over at Rocky Point Boatyard. Thanks guys, she's running like a top. Just a few miles downstream from St. Helens, we found a dredge working over a small area of the channel. These dredge ships are often seen throughout the Columbia River, keeping the channel navigable to a depth of 43 feet. Sitting up on the bow at this stretch of river, I remember finally feeling like I was on vacation. Sailing in the Columbia River, we get used to seeing the same types of ships over and over, so when we see something out of the ordinary, we really take notice. This unique-looking ship, the Golden Bear, is a training ship of the California State University Maritime Academy. It was fun watching her slicing through the water as she headed upriver. Ah, finally a little wind to let us shut down the engine for some peace and quiet.
It's been going the whole time.
One thing I've noticed about sailing on the Columbia River is that there are certain locations that just generally have wind. This is one of those spots, near the town of Meagher on the Oregon side.
Norman? Yo, coot. Norman. Hello, Norman. Whoa. Yeah.
Sometimes I just can't believe the depth of the conversations that we have on board. Soon, after another turn in the river, we found ourselves facing another lull in the wind.
I think this swell is from this wind.
Wow.
Then we have a long fetch and it's built up.
further down the river is one of those spots that generally rages all the time. This stretch is one of those spots where currents and winds collide near the south tip of Puget Island. The point on the Washington side is notoriously named Cape Horn. On the Oregon side is Jones Beach, which, not surprisingly, is a popular kiteboarding spot.
Stop it.
What did I do?
No.
Most cruisers in this stretch of river pull into a Locomotion Slough marina at the town of Cathlamet. That is a great marina and a super cute town. But on this trip, we plan to have my mom jump on board for the cruise into Astoria, and since she lives in Seaside, it is much easier for her to get a shuttle from a friend to the small town of Westport, Oregon. Off the beaten path, a small marina is located about 3 miles up Carey Slough. The slough is narrow and shallow, so it's not for everyone, but we love it. Pizza, cooked on the boat's barbecue grill, and some wine were on the menu for that night. Once again, we were treated to an amazing sunset and glassy water in the evening. In the morning, my mom would be jumping on board, and we hoped that we'd be able to reach Astoria. Watch for that adventure in the next episode of Sail On.